Hello, everyone. Good morning. I am Taidong coordinator Ina, and today we have specialty presentations for you, and I will be presenting the topic natural disasters. And later we have another topic, COVID-19 precaution. So let me share my screen. Okay, so in Taiwan, we have our own different natural disasters, and I'm going to introduce four kinds: earthquake, thunderstorm, typhoon, and drought. The first one is earthquake. In Chinese, we say 地震,地震. So when the earthquake happens in Taiwan, mostly, especially in the East Coast, people are calm. And because there are a lot of earthquakes in the East Coast, so people are kind of used to it. So people on the West Coast or foreign people, they might be a little bit anxious when earthquakes happen. So when it is magnitude 5 earthquake, maybe some people, they will still do their own things just like nothing happens. But it is, just so you know, it is very reasonable and normal that you feel panic. In 1999 in Taiwan, we have the most serious earthquake. It was many years ago. So at that time, our buildings, they don't have rules that restrict people to build buildings with technique of earthquake our buildings couldn't stand during earthquakes. And it happens on September 21st. So all the buildings collapsed. And I remember I was a little kid. I was maybe just a toddler. And my parents, they went out to the balcony. And because I was in Tainan, which is in the south of Taiwan, and it was pretty far away from the central of the earthquake, because the central was in Nantou, which is in the central of Taiwan. But in Tainan, we still felt serious shake. And because of that 921 earthquake, now we have resistant building rules. The most famous one is our Taipei 101, because it's very tall. So it has to be earthquake resistant. And now let's talk about a little bit geography. So in Taiwan, we are on several plates, and these plates, they squeeze together. That's why we have high mountains. And because of this geography activity, we have a lot of earthquakes happen on the island. There are different intensities, just so for your reference. And mostly we have mild earthquakes. And usually, like in Taidong, I'm in Taidong. Like in Taidong, we have mild earthquakes. When it happens, usually I'm walking or I'm moving somehow, so I cannot feel it. But if you're standing still, if you're not moving, or if you're just sitting, you can feel it a little bit. And if it's 5, like intensity 5 or more, you might feel it shake quite severely. For the prevention part before the earthquake, in your house, in your dorm, it's better that you learn how to turn off gas and tap water. Of course, you can turn off, and electricity valves. It is important that you turn it off because during earthquakes, pipes or tubes might get broken. So it is dangerous that it may cause fire. And also hang your objects firmly secured. And also like on the shelves, it's important that you put heavy stuff in the bottom instead of on a high position, because when it shakes, heavy things might fall down and it might hurt people or fall into pieces and hurt your feet. Also in your house or in where you work, it is a good idea to prepare an emergency kit, and it includes gloves, because when you move things, like maybe you're stuck by a heavy furniture, you might want to move things around, or when you want to save people, you want to move things, you want to, maybe they're crashed by heavy stuff, or you might want to move things, then you need gloves because things fall into pieces. They're glasses or wood pieces. And of course, first aid if you and other people are hurt. Also poncho, because it might rain. It rains a lot in Taiwan. And when you go outside or when you don't have a roof, you might want to wear a poncho. And then water and food, of course, and clothes, especially in winter and there's no electricity, you cannot get heat. So you might need to wear extra clothes to keep yourself warm. And radio, in case there's no internet, no reception, at that time, the radio is a good tool for you to keep track of everything and get yourselves updated on any news. And batteries for flashlight and radio. And whistle if you want to call for help. So now the earthquake happens. It is shaking and everything is falling down and you are very nervous. Maybe you cannot breathe at this time. But the first thing is try to calm down. You can take a deep breath so that your brain can start thinking clearly. It is very important that you calm down so that you can make right decisions. So in this picture, you can see a boy hiding himself under a desk, and he is in a kitchen. And now what is dangerous in this picture? You can type in the chat box or open up your microphone. What is dangerous if you are in this kitchen? Knife, broken glass, light lamp, stove, boiling water, yes. Heavy TV, yes. Falling objects, yes. So you're all right. We have a lot of heavy things in this picture. We have TV. We also have like this light lamp. It is broken right now, and we have kitchenware falling into pieces and hot water, or maybe this is soup. So it is right for him to hide himself under this desk. And this desk has to be big enough for people. There's enough space for at least one person to hide under it. And now, during earthquake, you are in the house. You're maybe in your dorm. The first thing is to find a shelter. Like in this case, you find a solid desk. Or if you're by the pillar, which is clear above, there's no other cabinet or things or lamp on the ceiling. And also stay away from windows and heavy furniture. Like the picture I just showed you, there are glass pieces around flying or on the floor, and heavy furniture might fall down and fall on people. If you can, if you have time, if you're close to your stove, make sure that gas is off and electricity is off. And now in this picture, imagine that you are in your bedroom and earthquake happens. Now, what is dangerous in this picture? Broken glass, yes. Collapsing furniture, right. Broken window. Bookshelves, yes, it's heavy. Not sheltered, yes, it's dangerous. In this picture, this boy is covering himself with maybe a blanket. It's not enough. Maybe he was sleeping and it took him a little bit of time to wake up and find a thing to protect himself. So the first thing he can think of was the blanket he has. And the dangerous things are, yes, broken glasses and shelves, furnitures, heavy furnitures collapsing. And why, does anyone know why this boy doesn't hide himself under the bed? It is correct not to hide himself under the bed. Does anyone know why? The bed is pretty low. Yes, not enough space. So the bed is pretty low. It is hard to really hide yourself under the bed real quick. And also if heavy furniture, yes, Matthew, if a heavy furniture fall on the bed might collapse and you will get hurt. Okay. Next. If you want to run out of the building or run out of the room, it is important that you find your shoe. It can be your slippers, it can be anything that can protect your feet. Just make sure that you wear shoes because there are glass pieces and sharp objects on the floor. And in this picture, you are a teacher. You are in your classroom. And now the earthquake happens. And you are a teacher, so you try to give instructions to let your students know how to protect themselves. And they are well trained, so they all hide themselves under their desks. And that's why this boy is safe from getting hurt by this heavy TV. And this teacher, maybe it's you, it's better that you hide in this table. Usually in Taiwan, your classes have this table, or you might have these students' table in the front, and you can also hide under those desks just to protect yourself. So a book is not enough. And after, usually schools, they have announcements. So after the big shake, the school might have someone to announce that now everyone please gather in the open space, maybe the playground or something. And in Taiwan, we have this banana hat for your kids to protect their heads. So they call it banana hat. and it's very light, and they usually put it under their chairs. When earthquake happens, the first thing is to put on the banana hat. And also teachers, they also have a banana hat, and they put it on and hide themselves under the desk. And when the shake is about to end, they run out of the classroom and gather in the open space. So in this picture, do you think the boys are doing the correct thing? Yes or no? Yes. Not wearing the hat. They should put the hat on, but they're correct to be on their desk. Yes. So it's better that they put their banana hat on and hold on to their desk and keep their head down. So this is kind of correct. They are safe enough because they are already under their desk. But you the most correct one is, so first find a shelter, a desk, and then cover yourself under the desk and sustain. You hold on to the shelter. So this is correct. Well, not correct if she doesn't put on the banana hat, but this is the perfect position to hide oneself under the desk in school. So now if you're outdoor, like on a busy street and there are high buildings around you and the earthquake happens, the first thing is to protect your head. So find anything that can protect your head, like your backpack and maybe your jacket and your book. You have maybe like maybe a board or anything that you think falling pieces cannot hurt your head. So keep yourselves away from those high buildings, especially when those high buildings have glass windows, and just go to open spaces where there are no many tall buildings. If you're in nature, avoid cliffs, river slides, shores, because landslides might happen, especially when it is raining. It is very dangerous that landslides happens during earthquakes. And now finally the earthquake is over, and you are indoor. Please wait until the earthquake stops. It really stops. And now you can move. The first thing is to report your safety to your coordinator. And during this time, you might not find internet. Wi-Fi might not work in your house. So it is important that you have your coordinator's phone number. Wi-Fi or line is not enough. Please save your coordinator's phone number in case that you need to report your safety without internet. And in the house, you please make sure that you open the doors, make sure that you have exits, because the building might collapse after the earthquake. So the first thing before everything shut down, make sure that you open the door to make sure that you have way out, and check the structure of the building. If there are cracks on the wall, if it has cracks on the wall, it might collapse. And also make sure the gas, windows, wires, and AC, if it's damaged or loosened, because it might fall down and hurt people. And in our emergency kit, we have radio. Please turn on the radio for emergency instructions and disaster reports. At this time, it is evacuation time. You need to get out of the building. Please take the stairs instead of the elevator. And then be aware of aftershocks. Aftershocks can be as severe as the first earthquake. So when the severe aftershocks happen, please do the steps that I just showed you again. And because we are in the pandemic, maybe some of you are still in the quarantine hotel, or maybe you are still doing self-help management. Please, you are allowed to escape, but please wear a face mask all the time because COVID doesn't rest during pandemic. And the next thing is thunderstorm. In Chinese, we say 豪雨, which is a lot of rain. It is short, sharp, and shocking. It's usually happen during summertime. And it also comes with typhoons. And a lot of you have already experienced typhoon in Taiwan, especially people on the East Coast and maybe in Taipei. So it brings a lot of rain. And some places, they have flood because too much rain. And some places they're flat and relatively low than other counties. So this might cause some water problem. And if you're in the house, make sure that you close windows because rain could come into your room. And keep objects high because the building might be flooded. If you're outdoor, most ETAs, scooter. So when you scooter, avoid white lines because it can get very slippery. A few years ago, my previous ETA, she scootered on the white line during rain and she fell and she got a few stitches on her arm. So slippery white lines can really hurt people, especially when you are driving. Also avoid down power lines and broken cables. When water touches it, it might cause fire. Okay, so far, do you have any questions about earthquakes and thunderstorms? All right, if not, I'm going to cover Jill's part. Jill is Hualien coordinator and she is now getting her second dose vaccine. So congratulations to her, and I am doing her part. And the first thing is typhoon. Typhoon in Chinese, we say taifeng. It is Taiwanese version hurricane. They're both tropical cyclones. So in Taiwan or in Asia, we call it typhoon, but in America, you call it hurricanes. So when is typhoon season? Now it's October, but actually it's during June to November, and the peak is August and September. There are 4 intensities. The first one, we call it a tropical depression. This is like a baby of a typhoon. And then when it grows up, it can be a mild typhoon, a moderate typhoon, and the most severe one, which is a severe typhoon. And again, it is important that we have an emergency kit. You need to check so how to prepare for typhoon. The first thing is that we make sure that we have an emergency kit. And also check your building, check the house, make sure that it is ready enough to encounter expected strong winds and flash floods. Like the windows can be closed well. Any damage found should be repaired and fixed immediately. You can check your roof, doors, windows, and ceilings if there are cracks. And the second is to close all the doors and windows tightly before typhoon to avoid rain, and also avoid them blowing out or being otherwise damaged. If you have shutters, they should be closed. Also, you can take down your washing pole and store it safely if it is movable. Some of you might have bicycles. It should be secured or brought inside. And for your scooters, it also need to be secured because they may blow over. And I know in Zhanghua and some counties, you have a car. Just don't park it under a tree because trees can fall down and crash the car. And also always store water and food, stay indoors, and then keep yourselves updated with the latest weather report. This time when the latest typhoon came, in the East Coast, Hualien and Taidai have typhoon day off. And usually people are happy about that because they don't need to go to work. Students don't need to go to schools. But sometimes we need to wait for the local government's announcement. So it depends on different local governments to decide whether your weather is bad enough to have a day off. So it depends on different sites. And in your school, your LETs or your directors might have a line group chat, and they will also text in the group chat to let people know if today we have a school day off or not. So pay attention and always keep yourselves safe. And if you don't get a day off, but it is raining and windy, also make sure that you scooter slowly, or maybe you can ask your LET if she or he can drive you to the school. And what do you do after a typhoon? So make sure that when you go out, you avoid mountains, seaside or riverside because landslides might happen. And also trees might fall down. Also avoid poles and power lines, get away from them. And if your house, like your dorm, is damaged, please take photos and report it to your coordinator, and coordinators will tell the landlord. And also avoid white lines when scooter, just like I mentioned. So I'm going to introduce this severe case, Typhoon Morakot in 2009. So it has a pretty big impact in Taiwan. So it caused many deaths and injured, 22 missing, and additional 25 bodies not identified, and also a lot of money loss. So typhoon can be very, very can be severe and hurtful. And it damages Taiwan in these places. So for Shaolin village, which is in Kaohsiung, it is buried, the village is buried by a massive landslide and a subsequent flood that destroyed the town and resulted in many deaths. And for Namaxia Township, it is the roads towards the township were either blocked or washed away by severe mud flows. And residents were trapped for 4 days, running out of water and food without electricity. And in Taidong, the famous Zhiban Hot Spring area, this hotel collapsed into a river, and several stores in front of the hotel were washed away days earlier as the river continued to overflow its riverbank and inundates nearby towns and cities. And this is a video, but because of time, I am not going to play that, but this PowerPoint will be shared. Okay, but so typhoon can be hurtful to Taiwan, but if you don't have any typhoons, like in 2020, we don't have any typhoons, because usually we have 3 to 4 each year. And so typhoon brings rain, and it can lower the temperature. But in 2020, we don't have typhoon, and we have drought instead. And you can go on this website and always get updated weather report. And also you can also scan the QR code here, download the app, and always get the weather report. Okay, the last one is drought. So a drought is during a time in some area or region, you don't have rain, and the lack of adequate precipitation, either rain or snow, can cause reduced soil moisture or groundwater, and it can diminish stream flow, crop damage, and a general water shortage. And it is the second most costly weather events after hurricanes or typhoons. So in 2020, like I mentioned, we did not have any typhoons, and we have little rain. So it is the worst drought in 50 years that we have, and many of our reservoirs are less than 20% capacity. And we have leaky pipes, low water prices, and lax water use habits also contributes to the water shortage. And since seasonal typhoons bypassed Taiwan last year, the island faces the most serious water shortage, and experts warn that much worse droughts lie in store as extreme weather conditions increase with global warming. Rising ocean temperatures will not only lead to stronger typhoons, but also divert them away from Taiwan in a more northern direction. This means that fewer typhoons will also bring urgently needed rainfall to Taiwan. So dry spells will become more frequent over time. And parts of Taichung, Miaoli, Hsinchu, and Zhanghua, in this case, began water rationing from April 6, 2021, meaning that residents will have to go without running water for 2 days a week amid the severe drought in the central and southern parts of Taiwan. And you can see the last line here, plum rains. It is the rainy season, usually happens in April and May, and it helps ease droughts in June. So in this picture, you can see, especially on the East Coast, we usually don't have water problem, but on the West Coast, if that year, like in 2020, April, we didn't have much rain. So we will have lack of water. We have water shortage. And after the presentation, you can take some time to look through this PowerPoint slide. It is the situation if we have drought. And during the pandemic, we wash our hands frequently and make sure that you always turn off the faucet and make sure that the water doesn't drip after you turn it off. So turn off tightly. Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions? If not, I will give my microphone to our next group, COVID-19 prevention.
Okay, we are the group for COVID-19 prevention. Shall we have, are we going straight or we gonna have the take a short break? Can you hear me well? Sonia, where are you? Hi, let me introduce myself first. My name is Joyce. I'm Union's coordinator. Actually, I still have another partner. So let me look for first. Okay, I have to apologize first because now is very busy time. So we have a lot of things to do. So probably she's busy for something else. Let's take a 10-minute break. So now is almost 10 past 10. So let's come back here at 10:20. Okay. Good. See you later. I'm looking for Sonia now. Okay, welcome back. It's 10:20. My partner Sonia, she was in another meeting. I'm so happy she made it. So welcome her back. All right, it's your time, Sonia.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Sorry. Also, Joyce, later maybe you can help me share the PowerPoint. So our today's topic is about COVID-19 precaution. So I am the training specialist, Sonia. So we just have teacher training in Taichung now. My colleague Joyce, she's union coordinators. So today we will talk about some regulations about COVID-19. Okay, next one. So here are the 5 parts. We will talk very quickly. Quarantine, self-health management, regulations you should know, some basic regulation, a lot of regulations today, I'm sorry. And also the difference between what is level 2 and level 3. Okay. Next. As you know, the CDC regulations keep changing all the time. So the policy usually changes within a period of time. So pay attention to the news or your school policy is very important. So the first part, quarantine, I think most of you, because we prepared this PowerPoint several times, we revised it. So I think right now, most of you already have finished this part. So we can skip this part. Okay, we can skip the quarantine part. And the second part will be self-health management. Most of you will already maybe go to school, but we know some of you are still in the, maybe in your own apartment, or some of you are still in the hotel. So there's still some small reminders. I think you already know, so we just have a quick reminder for you. During the self-help management, there's something you should do and something you shouldn't. The first thing is, the good thing is you don't need to stay at your hotel all day. You can go out, have some fresh air, but remember to wear mask every time when you are out. If you don't wear mask, people will stare at you. In Taiwan, I think people wear masks very often. Even before COVID, if we ride a scooter or if we feel the air is not so clean, we wear mask. So it's very common for Taiwanese people to wear mask. So remember, especially right now, we still do that every day. And also when you are in the hotel or apartment, I know Fulbright we will have a phone for you to feel out your body temperature every morning and night, and also keep some records if you go out or if you see someone. So we have a record for that just in case. And also still need to wash your hands very often, 20 seconds. So we will talk about that later. And also keep social distance. This is something you still need to do. Something you shouldn't do. One is if you feel sick, please stay. Don't go out often. Don't go to a hospital or clinic. And also you cannot take public transportation during this period of time. So still need to be careful, don't go to crowded places. Social distance rules. Do you know social distance rules? Outdoor is 1 meter and indoor is 1.5 meters. So I think we try our best, but some people still are very close to each other sometimes. And also if you want to order some food, we suggest you still use Uber Eats or Foodpanda. Okay. And right now, the next one, right now, I think some people already got vaccine, but still people will get, some people get infected by the coronavirus, but there is no symptom. So that's why it's important. Still wear masks, still wash your hands, and keep social distance. Protect yourself and others. Okay. I talk very fast. Okay, so let's have a quick review. In order to protect yourself and others, this is very easy. Wear something when you go out. There are 3 answers. Please choose one and type in the chat box. Mask. Sorry. Mask, pajamas, flip-flops. Yeah, this is obvious. If you make the wrong answer, we probably need to make you stay in your hotel longer. Okay, great. So the answer is mask. Yeah, I keep talking the keywords mask. So that's the answer. Second one, when should you wash your hands with soap? Before you eat, after you come back to your apartment, when you feel your hands are sticky, or up above. Okay, lots of people write D. Yes, the answer is all of above. Okay, the next one. Oh, this is a little bit longer. Which is correct? A, I have to keep at least 2 arms distance with other people. B, I can sit right next to my roommate while eating. I can take bus or MRT during self-help management. D, I can have a dinner with my friends at restaurant during self-help management. E, the minimum fines for branch self-help management is $30,000. Yeah, 5 answers. Okay, we see a lot of A here. All right, so let's see the Yes, the answer is A. At least 2 arms distance with other people. You're so professional. We should skip today's session. Okay. So B is no. I can. So need to keep distance. So still, not very close to each other while you are eating. And then you cannot take public transportation. And D is also no. You cannot have. I know some of you may excited to see people, so maybe want to have a dinner or gathering with other people. But during this time, we don't recommend you do that. We have some news, and some people got fined because of that. The last one, the minimum fine. The number of the fines is wrong. So Joyce, can you click so we can see the right answer? Okay, the minimum actually is $60,000. The maximum I think is 300,000. So it's kind of very strict. Okay, great. This is the chart we designed for you when you in the hotel or your apartment. Body temperature and also the contact records. Okay, next. Okay, so this one is about the vaccine. So right now, I think we have different categories for Taiwanese to take vaccine. And most teachers, I think they already got their first one already, at least first one, because they need to go to school. And some school, some junior and senior high school, they start to let students take BNT vaccine these days. But still, there are still many kids, they don't have vaccine. So we still need to be careful. So far, we know about COVID-19 vaccine. They are safe and effective to prevent COVID-19, including severe illness and death. But it doesn't mean you are fully protected by vaccine. You still can have chance to get infections. So that's why we still focus on, even you got vaccine, you still need to do all the things we just mentioned. Mask, wash your hands, keep social distance. Okay. Next one, please. Okay, and so there are some things. This is obvious. Don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth, especially when you are out, and don't wash your hands. Okay, and always keep temperature. We don't do that very often, but actually when you go out into the restaurant or into stations, so many places, they have this function to help you take your temperatures. So if you see your temperature is higher than 37.5 degrees Celsius, please contact your coordinator or you can see the doctor, but don't be panic. Okay, you will be okay. All right, social distance. So Taiwan, we have different levels. When it's very strict, we have special seat arrangement. And also at schools, the student need to have a cupboard to protect themselves during lunchtime when they take off their mask, okay? And also if you take transportation, sometimes usually no one will sit next to you. But recently, because the level is lower, right now is level 2, and we hope it's come back to level 1 quickly. So right now, maybe if you are family or couples, maybe you can have the sit together. Okay, next one. All right, this is very basic. How to wear your mask properly. I think you already know how to wear. Okay, but I still need to show you. The first, you need to have a mask like this one. Okay. I think the most difficult part is you have to figure out which is the front side and which is the back side. So right now, I think right now most masks, they will have a words made in Taiwan. The words you will type. So usually this side is outside. Okay. If yours don't have this kind of type, you can see the loop. The loop actually should be inside. Okay, that's how you figure out. And then when you wear it, remember to cover the nose, mouth, and all the chin. Okay. And also important part will be you need to, sorry, when I'm wear mask, can you hear me? Okay, so the most important part is you need to pinch your nose. So if you don't pinch, maybe your glasses will become foggy, blur. So when you wear mask, you will wear like this. Okay, I need fresh air. So it's hard for me to wear over 5 minutes, but I'll try my best. So right now people wear mask all the time. So even we are in Taichung right now, have training, our speakers need to wear mask for at least 3 hours because our workshop is 3 hours. But they can drink and eating things if they want. But I think I found that it's really hard for someone like me to talk with mask for long time. So it depends. I need to training. So when you go to school, maybe if your school asks you, I think most schools still ask teachers to wear mask during the classes. So try to bring enough mask with you. Okay, next. Important thing is during this time, but you can go out, right? You already stay in the self-help management. Okay, and then so you can go out sometimes. This is also encourage people to have regular life schedule, have enough sleeps and exercise, and still keep health, eating healthy food. Okay, and also find some interest like yoga or reading during this time to help yourself keep positive. Okay, so that's the part about self-help management. And then the next one, just some regulations for in Taiwan that maybe you should know. Let's see. The first one is about the community. Okay, so if you live in a community with a superintendent who can receive mail or package for you, so usually they will set up an area on the first floor lobby to receive food delivery or mail. They don't want a lot of people from outside to go into the community, so they will try to do this way. Some of the community, they will have public facilities like swimming pools or gym. Usually it's closed when it was level 3. And from October 5th to 18, CDC policy keeps on level 2. So some community swimming pool or gym may reopen. But later Joyce will explain more about level 2 policy. And also if you live in this community, usually they suggest you shouldn't talk inside the elevator. and wear a mask. Okay, next one. Next one, if you live in an individual apartment without superintendent, I'm sorry, you need to protect yourself on your own. Remember to wash your hands or change your clothes when you enter the apartment. For example, I live in an apartment like this one. And every time when I arrive at home, the first thing is take off the shoes, of course. Throw away my mask in the trash can. Usually I sweat, so I really need fresh air. Put down my bags and wash my hands before touching anything. And if you have a roommate, try to reduce body contact. And also you should have a schedule for cleaning the share area, like frequently throw the trash or use the washing machine for laundry. And of course, if you still use food delivery, it's better to meet them on the first floor instead of in front of your apartment. Okay. The next one is about school. So I think still right now, the school entry policy, no parents or visitors, or if people feel sick or have fever, they are not allowed to enter. And the teachers, they need to take vaccine before the school starts. If teachers don't take vaccine or less than 14 days, they need to show PCR negative results, or they need to take rapid test every 7 days. This is not only focused on foreign teachers, this also focused on Taiwanese teachers. So it's kind of one to protect the students. And if one class has one confirmed case, whether a teacher or a student, the class will stop for 14 days, 2 weeks. If one school has 2 confirmed cases, the whole school will stop for 14 days, the same 2 weeks. Okay. I think there are still more details, regulations when you enter the school. So you can just follow your school's policy also. Okay. Online teaching or, stay at home. So this is a big issue during this time. People start to discuss the benefit of online teaching or like in-person classes. During online teaching, a lot of teachers, they mention that students may not show up, so they cannot catch up the learning schedule. And also because they look at the screen, the laptop all the time, so short-sighted cases increase. And right now, after September 1st, the school starts in-person classes. However, some schools, they still combine online or in-person classes together. So it depends on how your school arrange the schedule. And also the funny fact is yesterday, I heard from an elementary teacher who said that before COVID-19, students will be happy if there's a typhoon or some reasons which may stop schools. They would say, yeah, no schools. But right now the school students appreciate they can come to school finally. Maybe that's also their parents' wish too. So they want the school start first. Okay, so this is the school. The next one is about the transportation. So it depends on different sites. So for example, MRT, LRT, this is maybe in the city, Taipei, Kaohsiung. if you take public transportation, the most important thing is you need to wear a mask all the time, or the company will refuse to provide a service for you. So this is important. They may not let you entry to. And also if your body temperature is over 38 degrees Celsius, please don't take public transportation. Stay at home, have some rest. And also in these stations, some public areas may close. Like some MRT station, they have dancing area, and also they have water fountains. Right now, I remember right now it's still closed. And next one about train or HSR, same thing, wear a mask all the time. And also you cannot have food on it, no food allowed. And some will ask you to scan the QR code before enter the station. And also people are not allowed to buy standing tickets, non-reserved tickets. And also I think right now they don't sell food or beverage on the vehicle right now during this time. Yeah, and also need to wear a mask all the time. Okay. Okay, the next part, basic regulations. So I will welcome Joyce to introduce more for you. Thank you.
Okay, I think you know my name already, and I'm unit coordinator. So now I'm going to talk about the two sections. First one is the basic regulations, and second is the differences between epidemic alert level 2 and level 3. And also I just find out the job to share screen is really difficult. I was lucky always someone do this for us. Today I have to do it myself. Okay, let's go to the topic, basic regulations. As you can see from slide, there are 4 regulations. Wear the mask, check your temperature, real name, the registration, and social distancing. So far at the moment in Taiwan, we are still under the level 2 restrictions. So when you go out, we still have to wear a mask. So for example, if you go to a store, before entering the store, you need to check your temperature. Of course, disinfectants were provided for you to clean your hand, and you need to implement the real name, the registration. It means you need to record your contact information. And while waiting in queue, you need to keep the distance from others. So it's very easy to see in public. They always have the sign to tell you where to stand. Indoor, Sonia just mentioned, indoor is 1.5 meters. So sometimes people totally forget and very close to you. So you can tell him, hey, man, please. And then, they're gonna step back a little bit. So, and also it's very easy to see some places in public, they provide seats for people. There is just a sitting arrangement. There's a space between, also on the chair, there is cross. It means that is not allowed. It's another way to keep the social distancing. So the 4 regulations is just becomes a part of our life already. It's covered inconvenience, but this is a way to protect yourself and also protect everyone. So I think most of you are very familiar for the mask and check the temperature and the distance, this kind of the topic. But what is the real name, the registration? In our, for the easy way to say is record your contact information. So how to record your contact information? There are 2 ways. And the first one, when you visit a store, they will provide a register book. So when you visit, you have to record your name and your contact number, and also the date and the time you visit the store, and also record your temperature as well. And the other one is easier and more quicker. This is scan the QR code. So I think some people may have seen a lot of QR code around the stores, restaurants, everywhere. So this is very easy. Just scan the QR code with your phone, and then you will get a message, or you will get a code number of the stores, and then you just send it out. So why we need to scan the QR code? Because this is a way for facilitating the local government, not at all, for the health authorities for checking if there is someone to be tested with COVID-19. So this is very important. Even now, there are more and more bans have been lifted, but this part is still very important. So how you gonna do this? There are two ways to download the app. So you just download the app from your phone. So there are two ways. The first one, you can search online. You just search online at Taiwan CDC, and you can download the app on the website. This is my first one, and I find the procedure a little bit complicated. So I search Google Play. Actually, there are more options. So I choose the one on the right, 1922. 1922 is also a highlight for COVID-19 prevention. So this one is much easier. You before you enter the store, you just like take a photos, and then you will get the code. So it's very easy to download them. And if you still confused or you don't know how to do it, I'm pretty sure your coordinators will help you. Okay, next is, do you have any questions about for the QR code or the other regulations? Okay, if there's no any questions, I'm going to go to the differences between the academic alert level 2 and level 3. Actually, there are 4 levels. At the level 4, we don't have to say anything, just totally locked down. You can't do anything. But the reason today, we focus on level 2 and level 3 because Taiwan went up to level 3 a few months ago in May. And luckily now we down to level 2. But there are still a lot of regulations to follow. So because Taiwan have the same kind of the serious situation, so we still have to let you know what the difference is. So if you read the context, you can see actually the differences are focused on the masks and also for the social distancing. So the following, I'm talking about the mask policy and also dining and gathering, those policies. Okay, the next one is mask. It's the same kind of the complicated, wear a mask at all time, but actually it's easy to tell. At level 3, except you are home or you have to wear the mask at all time. You are not allowed to drink the water in public. So even in a car, if there are 2 people, even the other one is maybe your parents, your husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, no matter who he is, you all have to wear the mask. But now we are at the level 2, so we still have to wear the mask, but you are allowed to take off your mask to eat or drink. But when you finish the eating, you have to put a mask back. And also here is one thing to remind you. Sonia, she just mentioned about the public transportation, particularly for the TRA. This is the local train, and HSR is a high-speed railway. They are still not allowed people to eat or drink on the train, except you have a very special reason. For example, you need to take a medicine, something. That's just a while, that will be okay. So this is masks. And now, because Taiwan, the infected cases has been dropped, the condition is getting better. So in October, the government, the central government also have lifted some bans. If some workers who involve agriculture or the farming, you don't have to wear a mask. It's kind of complicated, but it means if you are in an open space and you are alone, you don't have to wear the mask, but you still have to carry them if there are people. I think very soon you're gonna find our Taiwanese are fond of the hiking and mountain climbing. If you are hiking alone, you don't have to wear a mask because there is open space. But if other people getting close, you still have to wear it back. Okay, this is the mask. And the next one is dining. And the dining, we focus on dining because this directly affects to our life. We all like to eat out. So at level 3, the restaurants won't provide the indoor dining, so only take away or the home delivery. But now there are more and more the restaurant available and they provide indoor dining. But for the restaurant, they have to organize 2 things. First one, keep social distancing. It's a seat arrangement. It means they keep the space between the 2 parties, and also they provide partitions to block you and others. I still remember my first time eating meal with my friend with the partitions. When I talked to them, I just couldn't stop, just like turning around my head. What did you say? What did you say? And it just couldn't help. It's really inconvenience. And then a waiter just came to me just to say, hey, madam, don't do that again. So it's really convenience. But luckily now, it's much easier because the central government have lifted the ban. Some places, I think this depends on the regional. Some places have canceled the petitions for the restaurant already. They are allowed people to eat just like normally. But just like Taipei City, they only allow the family members or friends eat the meal. They don't need the petitions. So this depends on the regional. So if you go out, you still could see some restaurants, they still provide this. And also keep the social distancing. I mean, just like empty tables. There is also another way to keep the number of the people in the same space. Okay, this is the dining. I think you're gonna find out very soon when you get free. And the next one is gathering. A lot of people pay for this at level 3 because indoor only limit 5 people and outdoor is limited to 10. But this doesn't include people living together or roommates. And now level 3 is allowed to under 80 people indoor and 300 people outdoor. But still, we have to follow the best regulation, check the temperature, wear a mask, keep social distancing. But how to keep the social distancing, I think it depends on the occasion and also the space of the venue to design. As for the full policy, you have to check the organizer. I talked to a teachers who went to a workshop with 50 people. I asked her about the full policy and she told me, oh yes, lunch provided. While she got her lunch box, Biendang, she also got a petition to block, to separate her from the others. So I think if the whole day, the organizers will work out this. But if you are invited to go to an event, you still have to check. Okay, this is a very serious topic, fun. If you violate the mask policy or fail to implement the real name registration, you will be fined between 100 to 500 US dollars. And for the large gathering, that even higher, it's up to $2,000. So Taiwanese government take this very seriously. So you have to keep alert with this. Okay, finally, the last reminders. Remember to wear the mask all the time and keep the social distancing to protect yourself. Avoid going to a space with a crowd. And if you are indoor, open the door, open the window to keep the good circulation. At the moment, it's the summer in Taiwan, it's still very hot. We turn on AC all the time. Even the AC is on, remember to open the windows about a fix wider a fix, just like keep a gap to keep the good circulation. And wash your hand frequently, wash your hand at least 20 seconds. If you don't know how to count it, just sing happy birthday twice. And wash your hand with the soap and the water, particularly when you come home from the outside. You really have to wash your hands. When you sneeze or cough, remember to cover your nose and mouth. If you don't have the tissue in hand, sneeze or cough at your elbow, and clean and disinfect the surface frequently, like your computer keyboard or light switches, or just like doorknobs. And also monitor your head condition. If you have symptoms, fever, dry cough, particularly for dry cough, or difficulty breathing, remember you have to go to the doctor, contact your coordinators and help you to go to a doctor. Okay. Do you have any questions so far? All right. So now there is a little quiz for, I think someone asked the questions. How does level 1 look like? I think we haven't really got there yet. So we're still waiting for the CECC, it's the Central Epidemic Command Center's announcement. Because Taiwan is not restricted into, this is level 2, this is level 3, they would release the bans gradually. So maybe just like, I think it's still, we have to do the real name of the registration, but for the max wearing, I think the regulation would be much easier. Well, level restriction to change as more individuals are vaccinated. I think so. But the central government so far is still working on this. I think you are in Taiwan and you will get the message, or you will get the news from your coordinators. So seriously, it depends on the government's concern, because the COVID-19 still exists, and particularly for the Delta virus. Yes, I believe the policy will change with time. Stay tuned to the news. Yeah, thank you very much, Crystal. Okay, any questions? Okay, if there aren't any questions, let's check how much do you remember? Sonia?
Okay, I think those are very good questions, and some are like we didn't think about it, but we still suggest that during this period of time, we still follow the rules, try to avoid any risky things to do. So please wait after you finish all the, all the quarantine and self-health management, and everything is fine, and you can do, you have more freedom to do what you want to do. Okay, so we prepare a small Kahoot review. So maybe Joyce, you can stop sharing the screen, and then I will share the screen of the Kahoot. We prepared 10 questions for you. And then let me try this. So can you see the pin, game pin? So please join first. And then we will wait for a little bit minute. And let me adjust the music. And also I'm glad that you are still awake. So I'm good. I feel happy that you ask questions and then still with us. And also, if you have more questions, you still can let your coordinator knows, and then we will collect all the questions and see if we can find the best answers for you. We have 35. I think we will wait. How many people do we have today? Maybe over 70? And also I want to say that because we have like online teachers already start to use online classes, so there are a lot of different kind of apps you can try to use. So Kahoot is one traditional one. So actually we use it too often, a little bit tired of it, but I have to say it's very practical and useful. Okay, I think we can start. If you haven't joined, we will not wait for you. Okay, so let's start. How much do you remember? How do I protect myself and others? Okay, continue exercising and keep healthy. Okay, the time will be like not very long, so try to answer quickly. Okay, this is just the first one. Yay! Most people got the right answer. That's good. Okay, Allison right now is the first one. Next. Why do you need credit card? You don't need to pay by your credit card, okay? I think the ID, okay, ID. Okay, the ranking changed a little bit. Okay, no one choose. My mom will know the answers. Maybe your mom will know. Okay. All right. Oh, this is important. How much fines? Oh, okay. The answer is 60,000. to 300,000. I'll keep this for longer to let you remember. Okay, this is important. Okay. This one is easy. Yes, the keywords for today's session, mask. Okay, so do not wear mask properly. Okay, we have K for the first one. So one of you want to hire more bodyguard? Okay, it will not help, I'm sorry. Okay, from the COVID-19, yeah. All right, I think we have 2 more to go. 3 more. Okay, wash hands with soap and water is important, but maybe you cannot find them outside of the restaurant. So a good guess. Oh, we still have K. Weakness. Okay. Weakness, not a behavior. So the question is a little bit tricky, but K is still the first one. The last question. Okay, if you choose the wrong answer, I'm sorry, you need to stay and read our PowerPoint again. Okay, so all up above is a different. Okay, number 3. Edison. The first one goes to, what's this? That's congratulations. Sorry, I don't know who you are. Okay. But good. Okay, sorry about the music. I need to turn it off. So I think that's about today's session. Do you have other questions for today?
Hi, I have a question. I wanted to say first, thanks for the presentation and for providing us information on the topics. But I'm curious as to, could you go back to how to find the QR codes and just how to enter buildings and stuff? I tried downloading the app onto my phone, but I had trouble finding the app. And so I was wondering if you could explain those instructions again, please.
Oh, the QR code part?
Yeah. Or do we just scan it with our camera when we enter a building?
Yeah, like when you enter the building, there should be a QR code near the gate. So you just need to scan it. If you have trouble to scan it, you also can register by handwriting and use and they have hand sanitizers. And also they will take your temperature. So don't worry if your scan doesn't work. Yeah, and also if you want to know more about the QR code app, I think you can ask your coordinator about more details. I think there are different kinds of apps you can use right now. Depends on different
Got it.
sites.
Got it. Thank you. So I was confused. I thought there was a specific app for Taiwan for getting QR codes.
Sorry, I have the type of Chinese 机管家 is a CCC code. So you can copy the Chinese and the QR code English with in your Play Store on the phone and search for the app. It's maybe gonna show up.
Can I help to explain? So for entering the building, you don't need to write down your name if you already scanned the code and send out a text message. So after you scan the code, it will appear to be on your phone that a text message of a certain code it appears, and you have to tap send out a text message, and they will record your footprint. So you don't need to download any app. You just need the function to send out text message. Okay.
Thank you, Crystal. And also the handwriting form, actually those are for different like generations. Some people, they don't know how to use QR code. Like in the traditional market, the old people, they prefer to write. So it's different option for people. Yeah. But the main goal will be the same, try to protect everyone. Yeah.
I have to remember one thing. I remember in the very beginning, just like if you just got a different systems, if your phone is iPhone, you just like take straight, just like take photos. But if your phone is Android systems, you still have to download it. You still have to download it. So that depends on the systems. So I just mentioned there are so many options for you. If you really got an issue with that, you can ask your coordinator for help, because now it's getting more and more the convenience to do it. Okay.
Okay. So I think, thank you everyone for this session. So I will see you next time.
See you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.